Johnny Depp, 62 years old, and somehow he still looks like he just stepped off the set of Pirates of the Caribbean. Seriously, how does this man not age? Is it genetics? Some Hollywood magic? Or maybe, just maybe, it's something hiding in plain sight. You've probably seen him lately. The signature hat, layered necklaces, those perfectly imperfect rings. But there's one vintage accessory that's been quietly stealing the show. It's subtle, old school, and deeply personal. And believe it or not, this one accessory might just be Johnny Depp's secret weapon against time itself. Hey there, welcome back. If you've been following the legend that is Johnny Depp, you're definitely not alone. The man has lived 1,000 lives. Actor, musician, artist, rebel, and somehow he keeps reinventing himself. Today, we're talking about how Johnny's vintage style, especially that one iconic accessory, has redefined his entire image. And trust me, the story behind it is deeper than you'd expect. It's about nostalgia, survival, and a touch of rock and roll soul. Stick around till the end. Because once you hear the meaning behind this piece, you'll never look at his style the same way again. So, let's start with what makes Johnny Depp Johnny Depp. You know how some people just have that thing, that effortless cool that says, "I'm not even trying"? Yeah, that's Johnny. From his early 21 Jump Street days to his artsy years in France, Depp has never just been a movie star. He's a whole mood. He doesn't follow trends. He creates them. But lately, fans have been noticing something new. Or should I say something old? Johnny's been wearing this vintage silver bracelet. Simple, rugged, and filled with history. You can see it in almost every recent photo. Whether he's performing on stage, signing autographs, or walking through an airport, it's always there. Now here's the twist. That bracelet isn't just some fashion piece. It's actually a 1930s Navajo design. It's believed to have belonged to one of Johnny's closest friends, a musician who passed it down to him years ago. It's not polished, not flashy. It's weathered, a little scratched up, and perfectly imperfect. Just like him, but this isn't about fashion. For Johnny, this bracelet tells a story. After years of court battles, public controversies, and time away from the spotlight, that small piece of silver became something symbolic. It's his way of grounding himself, of remembering who he really is, beyond the fame, beyond the chaos, beyond the headlines. It's funny how something so small can hold so much weight, right? It's a reminder that sometimes the things that make us feel anchored aren't the big glamorous stuff. It's the little things, a song, a scent, or in Johnny's case, a worn-down bracelet that's been through everything with him. Vintage lovers call these kinds of pieces time travelers' charms. They're not perfect, and that's what makes them powerful. Each mark, each dent tells a story. Over time, they absorb your life, your energy, your memories. And honestly, that describes Johnny to a T. He's a man who wears his history proudly. Now, of course, the internet being the internet, people started asking questions. Is this just another Hollywood stunt? Some clever PR move to make him look more grounded and authentic after all that drama? But here's the thing. It's not. People who've met Johnny in person say he wears that bracelet all the time. No cameras, no press, no red carpet. It's just a part of him. One friend from his music circle even said it's become kind of a ritual, like how some artists wear the same ring or scarf before a show. For Johnny, it's more than fashion. It's faith. It's something he touches before walking on stage. Something that reminds him where he came from, and maybe who he's still trying to be. And honestly, that's part of why his presence feels timeless. You look at him, and you don't just see an actor. You see someone who's lived, who's felt things deeply. The wrinkles, the tattoos, the layered clothes, the vintage jewelry. It's not a costume. It's a diary you can wear. Fashion historians have even talked about this. They say vintage accessories, especially handcrafted ones like Johnny's, tend to age with the person. They pick up the oils from your skin, tiny scratches from everyday life, even slight changes in color. Over time, that piece becomes one of a kind. Something that literally tells your story. One stylist actually said, "Depp's bracelet isn't just jewelry. It's a visual diary of his comeback," and that couldn't be more true. Think about it. After everything he's been through, the trials, the public backlash, the years of silence, Johnny's re-emerged looking stronger, freer, and somehow younger. But it's not Botox or a miracle serum. It's the energy of authenticity. He's not pretending anymore. He's just being Johnny. And that's what makes this vintage accessory so powerful. It's a symbol of survival, of identity, of owning every scar, every mistake, every comeback. Oh, and get this. Rumor has it that Johnny's preparing for another major movie role. Plus, his band, Hollywood Vampires, is gearing up for more shows. So yep, that same bracelet will probably be right there with him on stage, catching the light as he plays. If you look closely at photos of him performing, you can actually see it glinting under the spotlight. It's subtle but impossible to miss once you know the story. It's like part of his armor, his storytelling armor. It's amazing how one accessory can hold so much power, right? But it makes sense. For someone like Johnny Depp, fashion isn't about looking perfect. It's about feeling real. Every hat, every bracelet, every tattoo means something. And that's why, even at 62, he doesn't just look good, he looks alive. Now here's something that might surprise you. Fashion experts say that vintage pieces like Johnny's aren't just stylish. They actually help people connect emotionally to their past. It's like wearing a memory. Every scuff, every mark, every bit of faded metal tells a story. Some call it nostalgia therapy. The idea is that when you wear something with history, you're not just putting on an accessory. You're carrying the emotions, experiences, and energy that came before you. It gives you a kind of invisible strength, a sense of belonging to something timeless. When people buy vintage jewelry, they're often drawn to the feeling it gives them. It's not brand new, shiny, or perfect. And that's the beauty of it. There's a warmth that comes from knowing the piece has lived a life before yours. Maybe it's been through love stories, heartbreaks, travels, laughter, loss. All of those layers get absorbed into the metal or the fabric over time. It becomes a piece of human history, not just a fashion statement. Johnny seems to understand that on a deep, almost spiritual level. He's never been the kind of celebrity who cares about what's trending. You'll never see him chasing hype or copying what other stars wear on the red carpet. He has always had this instinctive sense of individuality, an ability to blend art, emotion, and rebellion into his style, and maybe that's what makes him so timeless. He doesn't need to prove he's young or cool. He just is. When he wears that old silver bracelet, he's not showing off. He's grounding himself. He's reminding himself that life isn't about perfection. It's about story. And that story, with all its ups and downs, is what gives a person depth. Think about it. When you see someone dressed head to toe in perfectly new designer clothes, they look sharp, sure. But when you see someone wearing something old, something meaningful, a faded jacket from their father, a ring from their grandmother, or a vintage bracelet like Johnny's, you instantly sense something different. There's soul there. There's life. And that's what makes Johnny stand out even more as he gets older. He's not afraid to show his age. He doesn't hide his lines or his experiences. He embraces them. He's building his own version of timeless, not through the illusion of youth, but through authenticity. He's proof that style isn't about what you wear, but how you wear it and why you wear it. It's not about chasing trends or trying to keep up with Hollywood's constantly shifting definition of what's in. It's about staying true to yourself, even when everything around you changes. Johnny's style tells you exactly who he is. Raw, artistic, unpredictable, and deeply connected to the past. And it's not just about looks. When you see him these days, that small, almost secret smile, the way he walks into a room without demanding attention, the calm way he interacts with fans, there's something peaceful about him. It's the kind of peace that doesn't come from fame or success. It comes from knowing yourself. From accepting who you are after everything life has thrown at you. You can see it in his eyes. There's no rush, no anxiety, no need to perform for the crowd anymore. He's been through the storm, the public scrutiny, the headlines, the whispers. And he's come out on the other side, not bitter, but softer. Stronger in a quieter way. That calmness, that quiet confidence, feels like the true mark of someone who's found balance. When he reaches out to shake a fan's hand or pause for a photo, he doesn't do it out of obligation. He seems to genuinely enjoy it. He makes eye contact, laughs easily, takes his time. It's not performative. It's real connection. That's rare in Hollywood, where so much of what we see is manufactured. But with Johnny, there's a rawness that draws people in. He's living proof that the most magnetic thing about a person isn't youth or perfection, it's presence. And maybe that's what makes him so ageless. His timelessness isn't about refusing to grow old, it's about growing into himself. That bracelet, worn and scratched as it is, mirrors that perfectly. It's a physical symbol of everything he's been through. Every scratch tells a story, every dent holds a memory. It's a reminder that beauty isn't about being flawless. It's about being real. You can almost imagine him picking up that bracelet for the first time, feeling its weight in his hands and realizing it just fit. Not because it was trendy or expensive, but because it felt like part of him. Over time, it's absorbed his energy, his sweat, his experiences. It's been there during concerts, movie sets, long flights, late-night jam sessions, and quiet moments alone. Maybe that's why it carries so much presence. It's not a brand new accessory. It's a piece of his story. And in a world that's obsessed with newness, that's something truly powerful. Experts say that people who wear meaningful or vintage pieces often appear more grounded and confident because those items act as emotional anchors. They remind you of your journey. They make you feel like you're part of a bigger story, one that started before you and will continue long after. That connection to history gives a kind of stability that you can't fake. When Johnny wears his bracelet, it's like he's carrying his past with pride instead of trying to hide it. It's a subtle message. I've lived. I've fallen. I've risen. And I'm still here. And that's what people respond to. That's what makes him magnetic, even at 62. He's not pretending to be the same guy he was in his 30s. He's not clinging to some outdated idea of what a movie star should look like. He's evolved, and he's comfortable in that evolution. You can feel it in every public appearance, every photo. There's a freedom in him, a man who's made peace with himself. Maybe that's the real secret behind his timelessness. It's not about staying young. It's about staying true. When you embrace who you are, scars, wrinkles, flaws, and all, you stop aging in a way. You become timeless because you're no longer fighting time. You're flowing with it, and that's exactly what Johnny Depp seems to be doing. He's not running from age, he's dancing with it. Every accessory, every piece of clothing, every smile, it all feels like part of a story still unfolding. He's a reminder that age isn't the enemy. Losing authenticity is, so maybe that's the real power of that old silver bracelet. It's not magic. It's meaning. It's memory. It's a reminder that no matter how much life changes, holding on to something that connects you to who you are, or who you've been, can keep you centered, grounded, and yes, timeless. It's like the world finally caught up with the person he's been all along. The storyteller, the musician, the man who refuses to be defined by the chaos around him. For years, Johnny Depp has been a mystery wrapped in layers of art, rebellion, and quiet introspection. People saw the eccentric characters, the wild fashion choices, the rumors, but beneath all that was always a man chasing honesty through his art. He's never been the type to explain himself. He just creates, whether it's through a movie role, a haunting melody on his guitar, or even the way he dresses. Every part of him tells a story, and maybe now, people are finally starting to listen to it the way it was meant to be heard. When you look at Johnny today, there's a calm energy around him, like someone who's stopped trying to prove anything. He doesn't need to fight to be understood anymore. He just lets his work and presence speak for themselves. You can sense the freedom in that. It's the freedom of someone who survived enough storms to realize that peace is the ultimate rebellion, and that's why people are drawn to him again. Not because he's perfect or polished, but because he's real. His music feels raw, his interviews are thoughtful, his performances carry a new depth. It's as if the noise of fame has faded, and what's left is pure expression. A man doing what he loves, on his own terms. Johnny Depp isn't reinventing himself anymore. He's simply returning to who he always was. And the world, at last, seems ready to see that version of him. the artist, the wanderer, and the storyteller who never stopped believing in the power of authenticity. So yeah, maybe the secret to looking timeless at 62 isn't about fancy creams or expensive routines. Maybe it's about finding something, even a small thing, that keeps you connected to your story. Something that reminds you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. For Johnny Depp, that's a bracelet. For someone else, it might be a guitar pick, a book, or a note from a loved one. Whatever it is, the message is simple. Stay connected to your truth. Wear it, live it, and let it age beautifully with you. So now I've got to ask you, what do you think? Is Johnny's timeless vibe just pure confidence, or do you think that vintage bracelet actually holds some kind of power? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. And hey, if you enjoy stories like this, ones that dig into the hidden layers behind your favorite celebrities, make sure you check out my next video. It's all about Brad Pitt's big lifestyle shift after 60. You won't believe what changed for him. Before you go, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but for the next time Johnny walks out looking like a time traveler from the golden age of cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.